Welcome to the Drag Me to the Movies podcast. I'm Ned.
And I'm Joe.
In this episode, we're going to talk about Road to Perdition from 2002, directed by Sam Mendes, and stars Tom Hanks, Tyler Hoechlin? No. It's the guy who played Superman on Superman and Lois. Paul Newman, Liam Sullivan, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Daniel Craig, and Jude Law. So, Joe, what did you think of Road to Perdition?
I don't know how you did it, but it's Liam Aiken. You combined his first name with his character's last name.
Oh, did I?
You did. You said Liam Sullivan. I got you.
Thanks.
You, man.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We don't need actors coming after this podcast.
Yeah.
Because of that. So, you're welcome. I saved the podcast.
Yep, you sure did.
Yeah, so anyway, Road to Perdition. It's a good film. It's like that perfect balance of noir, I guess. Is that how you say that word?
Yeah, noir.
Is it noir? Okay. Just the coppers versus bad guys kind of vibe, even though there's really no copper aspect of this film. It's more bad guy on bad guy action. I really like that that time, I think, of America, or of Americana.
Yeah, I agree.
Myself. Just something badass about the Tommy gun and the trench coat look with the top hats, or I guess they're not top hats, they're more fedoras, I'm guessing. I don't know what kind of hats those are, but the old timey ones. So the film, I think, I mean, I won't say I think, I really like how the film starts off kind of focused on the kids. Because you're not like, when you see the poster for Road Perdition, you see, Tom Hanks looking kind of like a badass mobster guy. And when you get into the film, you don't get that right away. You get more of like small town kids acting up like kids do, and eventually leads into the kid having a weird relationship with his father.
Yes.
Whereas the other one doesn't seem to have that problem. The brothers, I should say, doesn't
they
seem to have a
definitely
problem
have
with his dad.
different relationships with the father. Yeah.
Right.
Which this whole movie, as I mentioned last episode, is very driven by father-son relationships.
Yes, very much so. Very, very much so. And so, yeah, so I love the aesthetic. It's not in some of these noir films, especially recently, and this is maybe another topic for another day, is like colors in movies nowadays are a lot more drab, in my opinion, a lot more washed out, not vivid. But I think this one does a good mix of it being kind of like that dark, gloomy, but also colorful when needing to be,
Right.
For instance, the night shots of like downpours of rain, or just night shots in general, like the initial one where the boy sneaks into Tom Hanks's vehicle, right? It's shot at night, and they do a really good job with like shadows and just kind of that drab look. So I think they handle that really well. And to jump ahead in the film, I think like probably the best scene of the film is where Tom Hanks guns all those mobsters down in the rain. Like that's so badass.
Scene. Yeah.
And the way it's shot makes it so much better too.
The way it's shot, the audio behind it, like everything,
or lack thereof.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's really well done. And there's a lot of scenes that play like that. Not I mean, that's a standout scene by itself. I should clarify, like there's no other scenes like that, but they do a lot of good perspective shots in this film.
Yep.
Like I I appreciate the scene where Tom Hanks, or I should be calling him by his character name, Michael Sullivan, goes into the hotel while Jude Law's character, I gotta look up his name. Where is he at? Well, he's not in the top listing.
McGuire.
That's weird. Is it McGuire? Okay. So he's like posted up across the street and how he's just kind of looking out the window and he's missing what's going on because he had like a woman in his room. But then he starts to pick up on like what's going on in the room across the street. And it's just kind of neat, like of the different perspectives of what's going on from different areas and how it all kind of ties together. Um, so like things like that, I really appreciate as well. Um,
So
there's oh, go ahead.
I just want to kind of build off of that in general. And like, one of the things that's pretty popular with like people who know movies and are trying to make one, there's a lot of people that kind of go with the show don't tell mentality behind things. That's what makes a good movie. Cause like a lot of people frown upon, opening scroll or text that introduce you to the world, or someone having a character say something specific to explain to the audience. Um, they don't see that as the best way to handle it. So if you can show something to tell the emotion or how something is to be represented correctly, that's more impactful to an audience. And this movie, I feel, delivers on that in almost every scene.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It really uh really does a good job at selling the heaviness of the scenes
Mm-hmm.
in all facets.
A very somber
So yeah,
movie overall. Yes.
yes. Yep. Yeah, and to add on to that too, the music overall I think is a good fit as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yep.
It's one of those things where it's kind of an odd fit. Like I don't think it would work in a modern day movie. Some of the audio,
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's
it
like
feels like
Irish
it's the correct time
inspired.
period.
Right.
Right. Yep. Yep. So I think it does a really good job as well. The actors in the film, fantastic. Tom Hanks as Mike Sullivan
Yep.
is awesome. The little kid who plays Peter, or is it no? Yeah, is it Peter? No, it's Michael. Wait, which
Mike.
one's the little kid? He's Mike, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he does a
Junior.
good job. Yeah, Jude Law is a real like creepy
Mm-hmm.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Um, Daniel Craig plays a really good spoiled kid
Yep.
of Mr. Rooney. Paul Newman does a good job at being like the father who, loved Michael as kind of another son,
Yep.
but also is a businessman and understands what needs to happen, kind of thing. It's all really well done. Um, yeah, I have no notes for the actors in this. I even as far as like the farmers that they stay with
Mm-hmm.
temporarily, like I thought they did their role well enough,
Yep.
the big dumb guard at the was it Finn McGovern's, I think, when he delivers the note to that
Yeah.
guy,
Where he's supposed to
and it says to
get
kill
killed.
Mike
Yeah.
Sullivan.
Right.
Right. Even that guy, like trying to get a job with Mr. Rooney, does a really good job at playing the meathead, guard role.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's really well done. The story itself, I think, is very smart in how it plays out. You know, they do a good job at not like giving you a whole lot of backstory about Michael Sullivan, but based on how he acts against the organized crime, you kind of understand that he's been in it for a while. He's respected based on how people react to him
Mm-hmm.
when they meet him. So like they don't treat the viewer as like needing handheld to really understand Mike Sullivan. They really do a good job at kind of just injecting a little bit of lore, I guess, as you go on.
Yeah. And with the fact that this is being mostly told from Michael Sullivan Jr.'s point of view, um, it kind of makes sense to kind of show and demonstrate their relationship through it and how they interact with each other or speak or don't speak to each other.
Right, right. Yeah, there's a lot of heavy stuff just in, to your point, the unspoken side of the acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike Sullivan Jr. when he's left at like I don't know if that was like the stock exchange or where that was at, where he left his where he got left when Mike went to go looking for banks
Right.
to get the money out. Him just reading the Lone Ranger and kind of sobbing to himself was a very powerful scene
Yep.
in itself. Um, And then there's some light stuff in it as well, of Mike Jr. learning to drive a stick.
Mm-hmm.
They don't dwell on it too long, but it's kind of a nice little father-son bonding moment where, again, Mike Jr. was not necessarily that close to his dad, but he's drawn to it based off of the tragedy that happens in his family.
Yeah.
So that's really well done. The I kind of spoke to it already about like Daniel Craig being the spoiled brat son of Mr. Rooney, but the acting there is really well done too, and that uh, Daniel Craig is canon. His dad knows that, but his dad kind of covers for him, but
Mm-hmm.
also
His
tries
blood.
to right. He tries to hold him accountable too a little bit, but he understands that his son is what his son is, and
He's a
ultimately at the
burden.
end, yep, ultimately at the end he agrees that just by business his son needs to die, and Mike has to be the one to do it. Uh, so, I mean, I guess he doesn't know that because he died already. So,
Mm-hmm.
never mind, but the other businessman knew, about that. So, yeah, so it's again, everything is business at that point, Mike being an inconvenience to the money, laundering and everything just, came to a point where, okay, well, it's not worth all this anymore, so, Connor Rooney needs to go.
Yeah.
Um, so that's really well done. The ending, I kinda saw it coming, with Jude Law, still being alive after
Mm-hmm.
that fight that happened in the hotel room, where he gets kind of maimed a little bit from the glass that gets shot. Uh, but it still had that impact, even though I knew it was coming. It still was a heavy scene.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I appreciated that as well. Anytime that there's a death of a main character at the end of a film, there's a chance where it's going to be lame, almost like a cop out, or it's the right thing to happen. In this film, I think it was the right thing to happen. Um,
Agreed.
you know, you hate to see it with Mike Jr., but it's nice that it's written in that he has those farmers that they lived with for a while to kind of fall back on. So,
And I mean, I know it's unfortunate. Um, and what I'm about to say is probably not the greatest option, but ultimately it gave Michael Sullivan Jr. a good memory of his father. Like even with how he, you know, when people ask me about Mike Sullivan, I say he was my father. Um,
right.
like just the way that plays and fits into the ending, it's so good.
Yeah, agreed. And even the spot of Mike Jr. not pulling the trigger,
Yes. Yep.
and Mike Sr. basically saying, "I'm glad you didn't," because he wants his son to be better than him.
Right.
Uh, so
Learn from his
yeah, it's
mistakes.
yep, yep. Um, I again, there's going back to some of the light side of things. There's a few quotable things that I wrote down. One is where I talked about that meathead guard in that like club basement where he's like, "Oh, Mr. Sullivan, how are you?" And he's like, "Should I?" Or and Mike says, "Are you gonna frisk me?" And the guy's like, "I don't know, should I?" And he's like, "Yeah, you should."
Yeah.
Just things like that are kind of funny. Um, you know, there's Jude Law. Again, he does a good job being a creepy actor in his own in the film, but his characters, like the way his character's written about how he takes pictures of the people he murdered while
Mm-hmm.
they're dying and develops them, then sells those photos.
Right.
Is really creepy. Um, yeah, I mean, I just overall, dude, I really appreciated this film.
Good. Good.
Yeah. So, what did I miss? What would you like to add about this film?
I mean, I don't think you missed anything. Like you got the message. It seems to do exactly what it was supposed to. Um, I do have some additional things that I just want to, touch upon. First of all, this is based off a graphic novel that was made
Oh,
at Vertigo, which is a DC Comics imprint. And
okay.
if you're not familiar with Vertigo, that's where like Swamp Thing and some of the more mature content was put from DC Comics. Um, so it's based off a comic, if you didn't know.
I do now.
Yeah. I haven't actually read that comic. I do think it's out on like Amazon Kindle for like less than $10. I might pick it up at some point and read it. Um, we already touched upon essentially the killing of the surrogate father, which I think Paul Newman, like this was his last film made live action wise for him. The rest of the stuff he did was, I think, he did a voice in Cars and some Meerkat thing that was animated, maybe a few TV appearances, but this was his last kind of live action film that he did before passing. Uh,
Okay.
and he did very good. Um, I like that quote that he had, just that whole scene, how it plays out so dark and grimace, and not much is being said or even heard. And he's like, I'm glad it's you.
Right.
So that was good. I also really love the one quote in the beginning of this movie. I think there's a few other paraphrases or interpretations of this, but when I heard it in this movie, it like really rang true to me. Where he's talking about at the funeral, he's like, "Let's drink to Danny's honor. Let's wake him, or yeah, let's wake him to God and hope he gets to heaven at least an hour before the devil finds out he's dead." That quote alone, like, sold me on this movie. It happened so early
Yeah.
on. So, the others I want to kind of call out, the scene where Connor kills the mother and son and kind of starts to go to leave, and you know, Michael Sullivan Jr. is on the other side, thinking that, oh no, he just saw me and is going to kill me too, but he's only seeing his reflection in the door
Right.
window. I like how that was shot and played out.
Yeah, that was really well done.
I also really enjoyed the part where McGuire and Mike Sullivan had the meeting at the restaurant, and their
Hmm.
little back and forth there, and then taking the knife out and leaving them behind. That was good. Um, the visuals and everything in this were amazing, and I can't remember off the top of my head. So this did have some awards. Let me see if I can find them quick. Conrad L. Hall was the cinematographer, and I'm pretty sure he passed away shortly after this would have been awarded, and he got a postmortem award for cinematography.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like he won a lot of cinematography awards.
Yeah, but this was essentially his last, and I'm just trying to confirm that. Dang it. Yeah. Yep. Best cinematography 2003 winner. So his his son had accepted it on his behalf.
Okay.
So yeah, just all that stuff. The music in this is great. We already touched on that. The only other thing I might want to talk about, and that's only if you're really up to it, is like the different types of father relationships that are in here. Um, like in general, I know there's tons of different ones, but you have like the father son relationships where they're like buddies and they do everything together, and
Hmm.
um, there's the one where usually someone's a burden. Usually it's the son is the burden for the father. Um, you have the ones where it's challenging to express feelings, which is definitely what I feel is happening here between Michael Sullivan and Michael Sullivan Jr.
Hmm.
Where Michael Sullivan and Peter Sullivan, he's not as afraid to express love. And I don't know, I just find that like you have just so many different father and son relationships going on in this movie that it's just interesting to see that type of character development and how it proceeds throughout the movie and plays into everything. So that's one of the things I always appreciated about this. And I know I have my hangups with some of my relationship stuff with my dad. Um, in general, I think we find it challenging to show love. So I kind of personally relate to the Mike Sullivan Jr. relationship a bit, although I don't think my dad's a mob enforcer. So I think I'm good on that
But
aspect.
you can't be too sure.
That's true. But yeah, I don't know if you have any comments at that at all. yourself?
No, I mean, just to echo what you said, there are definitely conflicting father son relationships in this film. Um, to your point, the burden of Connor to his dad,
Hmm.
that's definitely where that plays in. And I agree that yeah, it's definitely the lack of emotion to start with Michael and Michael.
Hmm.
Um, so I think maybe that's what you and your dad need is to go on a cross country bank robbing tour. I think that might bring you two together. Uh, so maybe
I'm
that's
not
something
sure
you
how
can
that would work
explore.
into modern day, but maybe.
Probably not well.
Not with all the
Probably not well,
cameras
but
and
there's only one.
social networks. And
Yeah, there's
no,
only one way to find out, though. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
stay tuned for the next episode where Ned reports back.
I'll report back in from the road. But yeah,
But no, I agree. They do a good job at covering those topics.
good. Um, the only other thing I have is Sam Mendes is the director. He's done some other very popular movies. One we've done on the podcast, 1917,
Yeah.
Skyfall. It's another good
Mm-hmm.
movie, and American Beauty. So he does some good work.
Nice.
But yeah, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So do you want to score this?
Yeah. So yeah, for everything that I mentioned throughout this film, I really liked it. I gave this one a 4 out of 5.
Holy crap! I also give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh man,
It's
we're
not very
syncing up
often we
again.
match. Yeah.
Nope. I'll have to get some statistics, but out of the last 4 films, we matched 3 out of the 4. So
Damn.
we matched fives on Sinners, threes on Fast and Furious. I'm sorry, The Fast and the
There
Furious.
you go. Don't want to make
And
that
then we
mistake again.
matched, and then we matched on Road to Perdition. So
Nice.
yeah. So will it continue? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so after this one, you want a recommendation
Yeah.
for the next episode?
We got a recommendation from one of our listeners
That we
on our
did.
socials, specifically on Threads.
Yes.
They asked that we discuss the new James Gunn Superman, and Ned and I just happened to watch it over this weekend, so
Yep.
we're gonna do it. This will be our second like modern era film, I guess. Like
We've done it
maybe I want to say modern
before.
era, but like
Within,
it's happening.
yeah,
You know what I
within
mean?
a month of
Still
it's
in theaters.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we did Deadpool and Wolverine not too far. I guess that was
I
still a
guess that would
pretty
be 3
decent
then.
gap.
Yeah.
Um, Sinners was fairly quick. Yeah, Superman. I'm definitely down to talk about it.
Yeah, you and I talked a little bit beforehand that we have a lot of notes. So I want to try to
Yeah.
get all those compiled into a coherent,
Yeah,
settings
I saw it
for
2
when we
days ago and
record.
I'm still kind of processing it.
Yeah, I might try to fit it in again before we record,
Same.
just to get another perspective on it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah,
Cool.
I'm excited for that one. But that is going to wrap us up here. Be sure to check us out on Threads and Facebook and make any recommendations at To The Movies Pod. And yeah, we're also on YouTube where you can make recommendations, and that is The Movies Pod. So check us out.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
I don't know the exact statistics, but this is probably number 4 or 5 of your recommendations. Would you agree on that? I feel like that's about right.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely open to them. So yeah, let us know on our socials.
Yeah. And thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thanks for dragging me down this old timey wimey gangster filled movie.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, that was an outro, wasn't it?
It sure was. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.